this round of webinar. The title is Improvement on Customs Duty Drawback Procedure, organized by PEMUDAH and also Malaysian Productivity Center. I'm your moderator for today. My name is Chua Tia Guan. I'm also the PEMUDAH co-chair for PEMUDAH's Technical Working Group on paying taxes. Okay. Maybe Hanif can show the slide, the next slide. Yeah, so this is the topic for today, improvement on customs duty drawback procedure, organized by MPC and also PEMUDAH under the PEMUDAH's Technical Working Group on paying taxes. I'm your moderator for today. My name is Chua Tia Guan, the co-chair for PEMUDAH's Technical Working Group on paying taxes. Okay, next. For those who are not familiar with PEMUDAH, the PEMUDAH actually stands for the Special Task Force to Facilitate Business, started in 2007. Our work involved the public and private collaboration to improve all the government procedure. And of course, under the PEMUDAH, we actually have various technical working group. The technical working group that we are organizing this webinar today is the Technical Working Group on Paying Taxes, which mainly deal with the income taxes issue, custom taxes issue, and also labor taxes, which actually include SOPSO, EPF, HRDF, and also EIS. Of course, today, the issue on custom duty drawback is a custom issue. And we actually have with us various members from MIA, MEF, and you could see on the PowerPoint, Federation of Malaysian Manufacturer, and also CTIM as well. And in particular, for the improvement on custom duty drawback procedure, we actually have a small working group, which consists of customs, FMM, and also CTIM. They have been working very hard for the last 2 years to improve the procedure. And that's why the result of the improvement will be showcased today in this webinar. And for this, I would like to take this opportunity to thank a few key players in this small working group to improve the duty drawback procedure. From customs side, none other than Puan Suraya, Tuan Hanif, Puan Hanim, Dr. Isha, and also Tuan Zaili. From the FMM side, I would like to thank Dr. Tang Kuan Jin, Mr. Raja Kumaran, and also Ms. Shamini and Aiju. Of course, from the CTIM side, I would like to thank Mr. Huang Shi Yang, and also our paying taxes secretariat for their hard work for the last 2 years to improve the duty drawback procedure. Next. For some of you who are not familiar with the duty drawback procedure, basically there are 2 sections of the Customs Act itself, which actually involved in duty drawback procedure. Namely, Section 93 is the duty drawback on importation of goods for the purpose for re-export, and Section 99, which involve the duty drawback on goods which are for re-export by manufacturer as part or ingredient or as the packing of any goods manufactured in Malaysia. I do not wish to go into detail because later on we actually have 2 speakers from the custom to tell all of us what are the newly improved procedure. Yeah, next. Of course, from the PEMUDAH perspective, everything we do, we are trying to create a win-win situation for both sides, the custom side and obviously for the taxpayer. And to us, simpler process means quicker refund. that will be overall be able to reduce the cost of doing business at large for the business community. And I could see some of the focus in this piece of work in improving the duty drawback is try not to have submission of certain document. Then there's also acceptance of soft copy document, which I do not want to go into detail because later on the Puan Suraya is going to help us go through all the details, and also the sampling method for verification that will be explained later. Yeah. Next. Now, as a start, I would like to tell everyone, we actually have a very simple proceeding today, where Puan Suraya will start with the presentation for section 99. She will tell us all the new things in this duty drawback procedure, and follow up with section 93 presentation by Puan Hanim. Once the two presentation is completed, then we'll go straight into a panel discussion and also the Q&A. All right. Like in most of webinar, okay, sometimes participants will spend a lot of time taking photo of the slides. This round, I think you can just sit back and relax because the slide will be provided. The secretariat will actually email the slide to all of you. So you can just sit back and relax listening to the presentation. Okay, if at all, if you have any question, please type in your question in the Q&A in the Zoom itself. And of course, just be mindful that the Q&A will only confine to today's topic, which is actually the section 93 and section 99 presentation only, which is the duty drawback improvement for today. Okay, so that's all what I have. Then now we can go straight into the presentation number 1. Okay, next. All right, next. Yeah. Okay, the presentation number 1 is the duty drawback under section 99, Custom Act 1967, and section 19, Excise Act 1976. Okay, we actually have today Puan Suraya Muhammad Zin, who have been a key player in the small working group under PEMUDAH paying taxes to improve the duty drawback procedure. And Puan Suraya actually have 14 years of experience with Customs Department. She joined Customs in 2008, and currently she is the Senior Assistant Director of Customs 2 at Customs Headquarters Putrajaya. Okay, let us welcome Puan Suraya. Puan Suraya, the floor is yours. Thanks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, the Honorable Moderator, Datuk Chua Tia Guan, Co-Chair of TWGPT, the respectable panelists, Datuk Tan Kuan Jin from FMM and Mr. Raja Kumaran from PwC, my colleague from RMCD Puan Nur Hanim, okay, ladies and gentlemen, all participants, thank you very much. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank PEMUDAH and also MPC for organizing this webinar and inviting me as a speaker today. So I am, let me introduce myself again. My name is Suraya binti Muhammad Zain, and currently I'm working under Unit Drawback Exemption, Customs Division Headquarters. So for today, sharing session, I would like to share with all the participants and the topic about duty drawback under Section 1999 Custom Acts and also Section 19 Excise Acts. So basically, I guess From the participant list here, I saw 114 participants. Maybe some of the participants have already familiar with the procedures and about the duty drawbacks. However, for the purpose of today's webinar, I will go through from the beginning one by one about the concept, about the procedures, and also the issues. Next, okay, this is the scope of what I'll be talking about for today. Okay, we can start now. Next, okay. So, what is duty drawback? Duty drawback is actually defined. The definition is stated in under provision section 99 Custom Acts. So it's stated here is where any imported goods are re-exported by the manufacturer as part or ingredient of any goods manufactured in Malaysia, or as the packing or part of ingredient of the packing of such manufactured goods, then if custom duty has been paid on such imported goods, the DG, the Director General of Custom may on such re-export allow to the manufacturer a full drawback of the duty so paid. So in this definition, we have a few points that will need to be highlighted, which is type of goods that we allow. For this duty drawback, we allow raw materials, components, packaging, and also accessories. The duty import that has been paid during the importation. And then all these materials, goods will be turned into a finished goods and then re-exported. Therefore, the company are eligible to claim the drawbacks. Okay, the next one is what is manufacturing? So company in for this under section 99 is clearly stated that a manufacturer needs can claim. So manufacturer needs to do a manufacturing process. So definition of manufacturing is stated under section 2 Custom Acts. The conversion by manual or mechanical means of organic or inorganic materials into a new product by changing the size, shape, composition, nature or quality of such materials, and includes the assembly of part into piece of machinery or other products. So basically, we are changing from the materials from the importation needs to be changed, need to be go through a process, manufacturing process, and to create a new product by changing the size, shape, and composition. So it is also stated here that it does not include the installation of machinery or equipment for the purpose of construction. So only conversion of raw materials into finished goods, that is called manufacturing process, and for that purpose, the import duties that related to the goods imported only for the producing of the finished good only can be allowed for duty drawbacks. Okay, that's it for the basic concept. So that's a very simple concept of duty drawback under section 99. So next one, I would like to explain about facilities, duty drawback facilities. So under this topic, I will explain about categories of applicants. Who can apply for this? So basically, as we discussed earlier, stated in section 99, it says that manufacturer. So the first category is the first category is actually for manufacturer, because actually for duty drawback under section 99, we allow manufacturer, and also we do allow traders to import. To claim duty drawback. However, there are some conditions that the applicant must comply. So for the first category is a very straightforward category, which is involve only one manufacturer. So if you can see the diagram on the right side, it states here that manufacturer A will import and process the goods and then export and also do the claim. So very, very simple, straightforward for category A, category 1. Next one. Next one, category B. This one involving two manufacturing companies. We have here, manufacturer A will import and process the goods, and then manufacturer A will sell to manufacturer B. The manufacturer B will use the materials to process for further process, and then manufacturer B will export the final product goods. And then for this category, only manufacturer A can do the claim, duty drawback claim. For under this category also as well, there are additional requirement that needed for as stated here. The manufacturer A, during submission of the claim, he needed to provide agreement letter or appointment letter for manufacturer B to act as an exporter. So there's a link, because the import form for will be under the name of manufacturer A, but the export form will be under the name of a manufacturer B. So we will need some kind of link between manufacturer A and B. That's why we request some agreement or appointment letter for manufacturer B to act as an exporter. So, and additional requirement, the next requirements is that manufacturer A need to submit the claim with complete supporting documents. So therefore, in this case, in this category, manufacturer A needs to provide apply for the drawback facility, and then need also to provide all the documentation needed for the claim. Okay, next one. The third category. So this one, what I will talk about is the manufacturer A. This category involved between manufacturer and also a marketing company, whereby the marketing company will export the finished goods. So in this category, the manufacturer will do the claim. We do not allow for the second party to do the claim, because it will complicate the drawback procedures, especially when the import duty is being paid by the manufacturer A. So we only want to involve the duty drawback claim must be submitted by manufacturer A in this case. So additional requirements is the same. We required some agreement or appointment letter for marketing company to act as an exporter, and manufacturer A also need to submit the claim with complete supporting documents. The import and export documents in this case. Okay, the next one. The fourth category involves a trading company and a manufacturer also, but in this case, the trading company import raw materials or components or packaging materials, accessories, who lease to subcontract and then lease to subcontract manufacturer and subsequently export the finished good. In this case, the trading company appoint a manufacturer to do the manufacturing process 100%. The 100% manufacturing process cannot have second or third manufacturer. In this case, only one manufacturer to do the complete processing from the raw materials convert to finished goods, and then manufacturer A will return back the goods, the finished good, and the trading company will export the finished good. So the K2 forms, the export form will be under the trading company names. And for additional requirement, also the same, we will also require some agreement letter or command letter for manufacturer A to do the manufacturing process, and also the supporting documents need to be submitted by the trading companies. So these are the four categories of applicant. Okay, the next one. Next one, I will talk about the conditions of under Section 99 to claim the duty drawbacks. Okay, the first one is the finished good exported has been manufactured on the premise approved by the DG. So it means that for the purpose of duty drawback under Section 99, company must apply first to custom and get approval on the drawback facility before the company made any the company export the finished goods. So because in this case we need for duty drawback under Section 99 involve manufacturing, right? So basically the custom needs to verify first the raw materials used for the manufacturing process and to produce the finished goods. So that's why we need the company to actually apply first the duty drawback facility before exporting any finished goods. Okay, that one for the first condition. The second condition is documents and records. Such books and accounts are kept as the DG may require for the purpose of ascertaining the quantity of the goods used in such manufacture or in the packing of such manufactured goods. So this one, the company has to, the applicant must prepare the documentation needed for the claim and also need to keep them for at least 7 years according to Custom Acts. Okay, the third condition is re-export period. So for duty drawback Section 99, company must re-export it within 12 months of the date upon which the import duty was paid, or such further period as the DG may approve. So in this case, company must ensure that whatever goods, materials that has been imported must be processed and then exported within 12 months from the date the import duty was paid. So if there is circumstances where the company cannot export the finished good within 12 months, there is a provision where you can apply for extension of time. So in this case, company must apply first to custom and ask for extension of time, extension of re-exportation of finished good. So for this case, the extension of time will allow the first application will be up to 6 months. Okay, then I will talk about the next condition, number 4, which is drawback notice. So it is stated in the Act that written notice has been given on the export declaration form that a claim for drawback will be made. So this is a very important condition actually. So company must make sure that the agent, the prepares the custom declaration form to actually make sure to select the correct transaction type during the exportation in the export declaration form. In this case, for example, in K2 form, so if the declaration is declaration of exportation done by using an electronic form, so therefore company must make sure that the transaction type D was selected to satisfy this condition. However, if the declaration export declaration is made manually, the company must ensure some notice is written at the manual form. I will talk again in the next slide about this. Okay, we'll proceed. The next condition is claim submission period. Okay. It is stated also that such claim is made in the prescribed form and is established to the satisfaction of his senior officer of custom within 6 months of the date of such re-export or such further period as the DG may approve. Okay, for this one, prescribed form, we have a prescribed form for claiming, which is called JKDM number 2. I will show you later. And then for submission period also we have a limit of within 6 months. So make sure after exportation, company must submit the claim within 6 months. And also on this provision also allows extension. This one, company also can apply for extension of time if the company cannot submit the claim within the stipulated time. Okay, I will talk again. I will explain further on this condition after this in the next slide. I will proceed for the next conditions, which is minimum claim. Okay, the drawback claim in respect of any one consignment of re-exported goods is not less than 200 ringgit. For your information, we don't have this provision before 31st December 2020. So we need after 31st December 2020, this condition is ineffective. So what does it mean for this minimum claim is that for every exportation consignment of K2 export, the duty drawback, the import duty involved that the company wants to claim back must not be less than 200 ringgit. For every consignment of exportation goods, finished goods, the duty drawback that the company wants to claim back must not less than 200 ringgit. Okay, the next condition, claim on waste. So under section 99 also allows duty drawback claim for waste. The DG may allow drawback of such duty on waste or refuse resulting from such manufacture, whether re-exported or otherwise. So, okay, can we go to the next slide? Okay, additional conditions. I will explain further regarding the condition from the previous slides. For exportation extended period, so this one, the first time application can be submitted to customs state at least 1 month before the due date of export. So please, if the company feel that that you cannot export your finished good within the given time, within the stipulated time, within the 12 months, make sure you apply for extension before, 1 month before the due date of exportation, because you need to give us some ample time for the officer to process. Okay, and then every application must be justified with reasonable excuse. I mean, why we have given like 12 months already, so why do you need extension, more time to export? But normally we will the application we will give for extension, but please give a reasonable excuse lah for during the application of extended time. And then for the if the company need more than the need to apply more after the first one, so the application must be go through the custom division in Putrajaya lah. For the first one must be processed at the states. For the second and the third or more must be submitted to custom division headquarters. So this one for claim submission extended period. So this one also, please submit your application for to extend the claim submission 1 month before the due date of the claim submission. This one also will be processed at the states, and we only allow for 1 time actually for this one. Okay, the next one is about finished good. Before this, I'll talk about the declaration of K2 form. If the declaration of K2 form is made by electronically, company must select transaction type D, export with drawback section 99 to satisfy the duty drawback conditions. So this is very important. If the company does not select the correct type of the transaction type, it will not satisfy the drawback condition, and it may result in the rejection of the claim. So for declaration of export form using the manual K2 form, company has to state a notice as follows: menuntut pulang balik duty custom section 99 or section 19 in the K2 form. Okay, this one finished goods sold to LMW and KBC. For the purpose of selling goods to LMW, licensed manufacturing warehouse or kedai bebas cukai, we do allow duty drawback if companies sell to LMW or KBC, but company must prepare lampiran J. We will go through the checklist, document checklist after this. Company must prepare Lamparanje for each delivery of goods to LMW, and then Lamparanje must be endorsed by the receiving company at the time of delivery. So you must make sure that Lamparanje must be endorsed during at the time of every delivery every time the delivery was made. So Lamparanje must be endorsed by the receiving company, and company must also ensure that the goods sold to a valid LMW PBC company or PBC company. So this one, sometimes LMW company does not renew their license, and it will resulting that company may not the claim might be rejected because of this, because you are selling to not a valid LMW. Okay, next one. This one I would like to talk about the exported waste. I mean, duty drawback claim for exported waste. Company must apply first for waste disposal of waste. Sorry, company must apply first for disposal of waste, and then the waste must be exported within 12 months after importation of related raw materials. This is additional. Conditions, and also company must submit a separate drawback claim. So make sure that you make a separate claim between this waste, drawback for waste and drawback for normal finished goods will be separated, because it's easier for the processing company, for processing officer to process. Okay, and then need to submit the claim within 6 months after the exportation as well. And then for duty drawback claim, destroyed waste, we also allow claim for this. Firstly, must apply for disposal from the Customs State Director, and then the waste must be destroyed within 12 months after the importation of the related raw materials. Company must prepare disposal certificate. Okay, and then company must submit a separate drawback claim within 3 months after the disposal. This is additional conditions required regarding the waste. Okay, if the waste sold to local company, duty drawback is not allowed in this case. Okay, next one. Okay, we'll go to the next topic, which is application. Okay, next. Okay, as I mentioned before, that for this duty drawback under section 99, company must apply first. So I already actually upload application form in the website custom portal under the menu fasilitasi. There will be a link, information there under menu fasilitasi for in the website custom portal. So this is actually the link. If you can copy, and will direct you to the application form. But also, if you want to get it from the Customs State, also can. Okay, where to submit the application for first time? Customs station near the factory located. So since this is about manufacturing process, and so therefore we want to be we want the company to register near the factory location, so that the custom officer can visit easily. If the company has 2 or more factories located in different states, in this case, we give an optional to the company to apply whether centrally to customs station where the headquarters located, the company headquarters located, or you can apply separate to customs station where the factory is located. For example, if your company is located in Pulau Pinang and also Johor, so which is very far from each other. So in this case, if the company was managed by separately, in terms of management and accounts were managed separately, company can apply duty drawback separately also according to the location of the factories. But if the management and also the accounts were managed in central by the headquarters, so in this case you can apply centrally to the custom station located near to the headquarters. So this one references we have, if you want to ask anything, so refer to industry section at the state, the officer in charge in this for the application at the state level, or you can come up to our unit at the custom headquarters, drawback unit, custom division at Putrajaya also, or and I also upload a guidelines in the custom portal. This is the guideline link. You can also go through the guideline after this. Okay, next. Okay, I will go through the next one is the duty drawback application process flow. In this case, okay, company has to submit a document, submit application, and the document I will discuss after this as per checklist Lampiran A2. So after the submission of document, complete submission, the custom officer will register application and also verify, and then for the first time application, the officer may visit the factory to have a look at the manufacturing process. After the visit, the officer will provide a report, and then the decision letter will be sent out after 14 working days from the complete document submitted to the company, and then the company can use the drawback facilities and export the finished goods. Okay, next. Okay, this is the document checklist for the first time application. So basically, company needs to submit a complete Lampiran A and Lampiran A1. This one this one has been uploaded in the website. You can check after this. Okay. We have a company also need to submit a manufacturing license, additional documents such as manufacturing license, registration of companies, agreement letter for applicant category 2 or 3 if applicable, if the company is related to this category, and also appointment letter if applicable, and then company location map and picture of finished product. This is only the number 3, 4, and 5. This one only applicable for the first time application only. Okay, to provide additional information to the officer to process the application lah. And if the subsequent application after that, no need to provide anymore. Okay, and then next one. Okay, this is example of Lampiran A, the application form. We have here part A for details of applicants. Part B is actually a manufacturing process and manufacturing details, and also part C is a declaration. So for the manufacturing details, we want the company to put it in details in Lamparanje A1, where all the input-output ratio will be provided in this Lamparanje A1. Okay, the next one. Okay, this is manufacturing details that we want the company to list out. For example, the name of raw materials, components, packaging materials, and accessories, requiring duty drawback with tariff codes, and then the description of the raw materials, and then name of finished goods which are exported, expected date to export the finished goods, composition including weight of each type of raw materials, component used in the manufacturing to produce the finished goods, and also method of calculation of duty drawback on each type of finished good, percentage of wastage, and manufacturing process and workflow. This is all the details that we want to know when a company submit the application. The next one, next slide. Okay, for this application form, the company must submit a new application for any changes to the previous approval, such as the following: if any changes in terms of usage and composition of the raw materials from the previous approval, and also if the company wants to produce a different finished goods, so the company must submit a new application. But in this case, company have to submit the covering letter and application form only, no need the other documentation listed on the checklist. Okay, the next one is not for any changes. For example, manufacturing premise address, duty drawback calculation formula, or tariff code for imported goods. These changes must be informed to the custom station, controlling station, because especially before exportation of the imported, for, let's say, duty drawback calculation formula and tariff code for imported goods, this one must be informed before the finished goods are exported. Normally, what happened was that the company did not inform customs station regarding these changes. This one will make the processing officer will make some query, and also possibility for rejection of claim can be done here, because company did not give us the full information regarding the changes. So therefore, I would like to ask all the company, please inform if any changes regarding your approved drawback facilities. Please inform the customs stations. Okay, next. Okay, that one I will further explain about the drawback claim process. Previously, I will talk about the drawback facility. So now I will talk about drawback claim process flow. So basically, after the finished good has been exported, and then company will submit a claim within the 6 months after the exportation, right? So the claim will be processed, and by the processing officer, the decision letter will be given after 14 working days after the complete document submitted. And then if the claim is approved, so the payment process will be processed by the technical division within the 14 days after receiving the approved claim. And then the next one, the claim, for your information, the claim, the company drawback claim is subject to verification by an MCD officer for any under or overpayment after the payment. Okay, next. Okay, this one is the document checklist drawback claim. So this is the documents needed during the submission of claim. So basically we have covering letter, we have the JKM number 2, the prescribed form, and then the bank statement, certificate copy. This one is for for payment purposes later on. And then copy of approval letter for drawback facility, whichever that has been approved previously. And then a company must submit a claim statement, which is we have a standard form of Lamparanje, import documents and export documents, and other documents if required. So in this, I highlighted a custom form here. Custom form here, what has been, we have discussed this custom documentation has been to be reduced, right, with PEMUDAH and also FMM. So the request is to not to submit K1 and K2 forms during the submission of drawback claim, and just the list of K2, K1 and K2 will be listed in the claim statements, the Lamparanje here. So the custom officer will check online in their SMK, Sistem Maklumat Custom. So basically, for this purpose, we have go through quite lengthy discussion with FMM and PEMUDAH. How custom also support that the use of the reduction of documents to go paperless, and the custom also support the idea of less documentations needed submitted by the company to make to ease off, and also to ease off the company need not to submit too many documents, right? So in this case, we do support this, and then in terms of implementation for drawback section 99, we will implement this after we make some engagement with customs officer at the state level. We need to do some hands-on training session with the customs stations, and then after we make sure that every processing officer is ready for this new method of processing. We will implement this and make sure that company need not to submit the custom form, especially K1 and K2 forms in hard copy form. So next one. Okay, this one I'm just showing some example, the claim form. So the JKDM number 2 form is the prescribed form, and then we have Lamparanje, the claim statement. The next one. So this one is Lamparanje. This is what we talk about if the company sell to LMW company or KBC, need to use Lamparanje, and this is the example of Lamparanje. Okay, next. Okay, this is also some new updates regarding the duty drawback processing. In order to expedite the process, we agree to do document verification by sampling. So in this case, the company are eligible for sampling method if fulfill the following conditions. We have two conditions here. Company must has 3 clean records previously, and the claim have more than 30 export forms. So if company has no problem from the previous claim and 3 clean records, so this company are eligible for to be verified by sampling. So the sampling will be used, sampling method is used by selecting 10% from the total number of export form, or at least 10 export form, whichever is higher in this case. Okay, the claim is subjected to full checking if the claim does not fulfill the sampling method criteria or does not comply with drawback condition or error in calculation during the verification by sampling. Okay, this is the new updates regarding duty drawback under section 99. Okay, next. Okay, this one I'll go very fast for issues, because later on we will discuss again during the panel session. The next. So issue rejected claim. So export of finished good exceeding a period of 12 months from the payment of import duties on raw materials. Okay, sometimes the company does not aware that their exportation exceeding the period of 12 months, and then submission of duty drawback claim after 6 months. In this case also, company sometimes did not aware that the 6 months time, this 6 months period allowed, they must apply for submission before the due date. Okay, next. Okay, notice of claim is not specified in the export form K2 or choosing incorrect transaction type during the declaration. Transaction type D should be chosen for declaration by electronically. So this one also important, very important to satisfy the condition, duty drawback condition. So I'll discuss this before, right? So this is another issue that always happens by the company. So next is lack of understanding. Exportation of finished good is done before getting approval to use the facility of duty drawback. So must get the duty drawback approval first before exportation. Okay, different description of raw material and finished goods. Goods declared in the custom form number 2 is not the same as in the approval letter. So this is also issues that always happens. And then duty drawback claims on raw material, finished goods not listed in the approval letter. This is also the same. Okay. Any change? Please inform the custom officer if any changes happens during the manufacturing process, so that your claim will not be rejected. The number 7, company documents are not properly kept using the import and export document which are not in line with the company document. Okay, this one when checking the document is not correct, the company must have submit a different invoice or something. Okay, the last one is the company submit the claim statement using different raw material usage formula, which is not in line with the approval letter. So this is also the same. I mean, when they submit the application, they are submitting a different usage formula, but then later on when they want to claim, they are using a different formula. So that's why this is among the issues that always happen for rejected claim. Okay, I think this is the last one, right? Next. Okay, that's it from me. We will see you again for the next session. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Puan Suraya, for a very insightful and also comprehensive presentation. I think she's not just talking about the new changes, she's actually going through the whole process of the duty drawback under Section 99. How does it going to be claimed? So for anyone who have not done it before, I think this is a very good seminar session for you to understand how to claim under the Section 99 drawback. Of course, again, for the participant who actually just joined us after my my briefing at the beginning, all right, some of you are still asking for the slide. I could see the Secretariat have kindly put the link for the slide in the chat room. You all can actually download from there. And also, if you have any question, okay, please don't put it in the chat room because it's quite difficult to track for us. We will answer all those questions in the Q&A button. So please, the participant, please put your question in the Q&A button, not in the chat room. Okay, so now we quickly move on to the next presentation under the guideline and application for procedure for customs duty drawback under Section 93 of the Customs Act 1967. Today with us, we actually have Puan Wan Nur Hanim binti Wan Hassan. She has 10 years experience with the Customs Department. She joined Customs in the year 2011, and currently she is the Penolong Pengarah Customs Unit Tuntutan Cawangan Perakaunan Hasil Bahagian Perkhidmatan Teknik Custom Headquarters. Okay, the floor is yours. Hanim, please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dato'. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you to the organizers of this webinar for inviting me here today. Okay, once again, I'm Hanim from Cawangan Perakaunan Hasil, RMCD headquarters. So as you can see on the screen, our topic today is guidelines and application procedures for customs duty drawback under Section 93 Customs Act 1967. Okay, let me first give you a brief overview that RMCD administers application of customs duty drawback on the importation of goods under Section 93 of the Act for the purpose of re-export to the abroad or the movement of goods to a warehouse license under Section 65A or to a duty-free shop license under Section 65D of the Act. Okay, next slide. Okay, basically my presentation is particularly relevant to those of you who entitled to enjoy the duty drawback facilities. So there are 6 conditions that company or claimant need to be followed for the eligibility of drawback. The conditions: number 1, the goods are identified to the satisfaction of a senior officer of customs at the custom port or customs airport at which such goods are shipped or loaded for re-export or at the place of re-export. Condition number 2, the drawback claim in respect of any one consignment of re-exported goods is not less than 200 ringgit. Number 3, the goods are re-exported within 3 months of the date upon which the customs duty was paid. The next one, condition is payment of drawback is upon goods of a class to which the goods to be re-exported has not been prohibited by regulations made under this Act. Okay, the condition number 5 is stated in the Act, which is written notice has been given to a senior officer of customs at or before the time of re-export that a claim for drawback will be made. and such claim is made in the prescribed form JKDM number 2 and established to the satisfaction of a senior officer of customs within 3 months of the date of export. Now we move on to the next slide. Actually, these steps remain as our normal practice. Later on, I will be highlight which one or which part that RMCD newly enhanced on our procedure. So the steps should be taken for drawback application. During exportation or movement of goods to licensed warehouse, free zone or duty-free shop, companies should select transaction code drawback with export section 93, Customs Act 1967 at Borang Ikrar Export for electronic declaration. And return notice for Lamparanje should be prepared and submitted for drawback claim purpose. Steps number 2, company can apply for drawback claim by submitting the documents as per the checklist below. Company covering letter, form JKDM number 2 as per attached. This form is actually the same form that we use for the drawback 99. Because this is the prescribed form. So this one is the panduan mengisi borang. Okay, the letter of authorization from company to agent or company representative. So if the company want to hire an agent to claim the duty drawbacks, it also can. But with the condition, letter of authorization must be submitted together with the application. Okay, the next checklist is letters company bank statement, claim summary, penyata pengiraan tuntutan, this is the format. Customs official receipt, invoice semasa pengikraran import, Lamparanje, this one also same like drawback 99, Lamparanje, which is borang pengesahan penghantaran barang. Invoice semasa pengikraran ekspor, packing list or delivery order, or any other document that related with the drawback claim. Okay, next. Okay, steps number 3, that one is after a few series meeting between RMCD, PEMUDAH and industry players. So we come up with this improved procedure, which is company doesn't have to submit customs form number 1, K1 or K2 form or K9 form for claim submission, unless the documents are requested by JKDM officer for further review. Okay, next step is duty drawback claim should be submitted to CPH, Cawangan Perakaunan Hasil, at bahagian Pertek di negeri, where the proposed company is operating or based. So the next step is query letter will be issued to the company if there is any incomplete documents or any extra information is needed by the JKDM officer. If the company failed to submit the document or information within 30 days from the date query letter issued, the application for claim will be disregarded. Okay, next, the application results will be issued within 30 days from the date JKDM received completed documents for the drawback claim. Okay, then drawback claim payment will be processed within 14 days once JKDM receives all the relevant documents related to the payment. Every drawback claim that has been paid is subjected to inspection by JKDM. Okay, as a final point, I'd like to share about responsibility of claimant, which is claimant must be complied with all the conditions of drawback claim in accordance with the requirement of provision in the Act and current regulations. The claimant also must be ensured the submitted information in the drawback claim application is correct and accurate. One custom form K2 or delivery order for Lamparanje declared at column number 9, form JKDM number 2. And also claimant must be ensured the same drawback claim are not submitted to any other JKDM branch. Claimant also must be allowed JKDM senior officer to do inspections on records and document at any time as required. Make sure the goods that have been exported will not be relanded or unloaded at any part in the kawasan utama custom. As for goods that are sent to the free zone, the drawback claim will only be considered if the name of consignee in the K2 form and invoices in export declaration are overseas importers or companies in the free industrial zone only. And last but not least, companies are responsible to submit additional document that requested by the process officer at the CPH in connection with the shipment of the goods to the free industrial zone. Okay, I hope with this presentation, you will have gained an insight into our guidelines and newly enhanced procedure. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Puan Hanim, for the short and sweet presentation. Obviously, you all know that Section 99 will be a more lengthy process as compared to the Section 93. Now we come to the panel discussion. Can we invite our panelists and speaker, including Puan Suraya, to join us at this juncture? All right. Let me introduce the other two panelists. The first one is Dato' Tan Kon Jin, our old friend. We've been working together with Raja and Custom under the PEMUDAH Paying Taxes Technical Working Group, I think for more than 10 years. I really enjoy working with them and also their support throughout the year. Let me introduce Dato' Tan. Dato' Tan is very familiar with us, and he was with Customs Department for 32 years. He was also the head of internal taxes, which is the sales tax, service tax, and excise for Kuala Lumpur Customs. He is also now the Deputy Chairman for Customs Committee representing FMM. He is also the tax advisor to PwC, and of course, he's also the member of the Bermuda Technical Working Group on paying taxes for many years. Welcome, Dr. Tan. Next panelist is Mr. Raja Kumaran, the Executive Director of PwC. Raja actually had 35 years of experience in indirect taxes and also served as a senior officer with Customs Department. And both Raja and Dr. Pan, normally when they speak to me, they say they are already in 7 series. Okay, whereas I'm in the 5 series, I believe Suraya and Hanim, Puan Hanim is much younger than us, right? Okay. And Raja was the part of the MOF Custom Sales and Service Tax SST team responsible for the drafting of the SST law in the earlier year in the 1990s. Of course, he's also the member of TWG Paying Taxes. Welcome, everyone. Okay. Can we have the screen to show all the panelists and speakers? Because when I look at the live screen now, it only shows me. Can Hanif? Can Hanif show all the panelists together and the speaker? Okay. Now Let me quickly move on to the first question. Okay, of course, as you all know that, all of us actually spend 2 years to get all this thing done, right? Then I would like to address this question to Dr. Tan and maybe later Raja, in terms of what was the issue faced by the manufacturer, the taxpayer side, while claiming the duty drawback under the Section 99 of the Customs Act prior to all this improvement. Maybe Dato' Tan first. Yeah, Dato' Tan.
Yeah, thank you, Dato' Chua. Good morning, everybody. Now, I will just maybe list the 4 main issues faced by the FMM members when they do their drawback claims. Okay, the number 1 issue is the delay in receiving the drawback claims, despite customs client charter, saying that the claim will be done in 14 working days. So luckily after Dato' Chua and FMM with the assistance of MPC, we sat down together with MICCI, C-Team. At least we understand what is meant by the 14 working days from the customs point of view. You see, your claim, after you submit to the customs, okay, there will be processes of verification, etc., etc. So that did not take into account the 14 days. The 14 days is after all the processes and procedures are complied, customs will pay you your drawback within 14 days. So at least now we understand where it's coming from, the 14 days. Now, number 2 will be the requirement for 19 sets of documents for drawback. So can you imagine if an applicant goes to the customs perakaunan hasil division, they'll be carrying boxes of K1, K2, their invoices, their customs sheet, etc. So it takes a long time for customs to process. At the same time, both sides are actually having this tedious task of looking at all these documents. So now these are the problem faced by the applicants. Okay. Number 3 is again the requirement for drawback. They differ from state to state. So imagine multinational or big companies having different manufacturing plants all over the country. So when you have different sets of procedures, it is quite difficult for them to comply at their head office level. And finally, you see, before this, I think the FMM members were very happy. They have got this customs, customs where you can submit online, and then suddenly everything has been stalled and stopped. So now we are hoping that customs, will assist the manufacturers by having, a new online system maybe to expedite all these processes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dato' Tan. How about Raja? What was your experience?
Okay, I echo what Dr. Tan has said. I think that's the biggest one was there were applications for drawback as long as 1 year, 12 months, 13 months before you get your money. And I think in this economic environment, money stuck in customs is money cash flow for the company. All right. And I think, and that's why it's very important to return the money, because they would have paid some time ago and now they want to claim it back. So I think it's very important that customs, one of their motto is trade facilitation. And I think, so they will, and I think this step they did this time around was to live up to what they are saying. They are out there to facilitate businesses. That's why I think Dr. Chua, when we approached them, and they are very willing to discuss, sit with us and discuss and see how we can narrow, shorten the process, and that will also reduce the cost of doing business. We are competing with the rest of the world to ensure that the cost of doing business is reduced. And I think these new processes and procedures that customs have come out with, and it's the first time I see it's very publicly told to everyone. It's in the website for customs for public to understand, very clearly written out step-by-step processes. And I think going forward, businesses will not refunds will not be delayed unnecessary. So I think it has both view. I think businesses should understand customs is returning government money, and they are responsible to ensure that money is not given out by falsehood or without verification. So I think it's also important for businesses. Just don't leave it to forwarding agents or agents. You should be able to be in control of it, of the processes, and ensure that your people understand what they need to do. Because in your office, you have both. I mean, the export will be done by marketing, while the purchase of raw material will be done by procurement. There should be coordination among both of them. All right. So within the organization, I think it's very important businesses to ensure that they coordinate the processes, and they understand what are the requirements of customs. So I hope it's a two-way thing. We are together to ensure that refund is returned quickly. So Dato', I hope we will monitor, and hopefully within the next 6 months we can track whether there's any improvement in refund processes. Thank you.
Obviously, I guess this is only the first step of the improvement. Then we actually will have a trial run maybe for the next 6 months. Then we will review and reassess whether there's anything can be done anymore. Of course, then, you know, normally in PEMUDAH, we work as a team. We always say that this is our problem, not the custom problem, not the taxpayer's problem. It's actually the country's problem, and how are we trying to resolve this for the betterment of the business and for the betterment of the country. And of course, after hearing from the private sector side, custom side, I believe Suraya and Puan Suraya and also Hanim, maybe also can tell us what are the problems that you all are currently facing before the improvement. That's why I guess you all are very receptive to all the improvements suggested. Suraya? Yeah.
Thank you, Dato'. So basically, the issues that always has, just like I explained in the previous slide regarding the issues, right? Normally, regarding the notice, K2 form, company does not aware that they need to choose the correct transaction type to satisfy the drawback conditions. That is very important. So many of the claim was rejected because of this. So maybe because of we aware that the guidelines was not posted, right? So we actually would like to say thank you for this PEMUDAH punya kita punya working together to improve the procedures ni. At least everyone will aware about the conditions and the guidelines, so this will get the better results.
Thanks, Puan Hanim. Thanks, Puan Suraya. How about Puan Hanim? Hanim cannot hear you. Maybe you're mute.
Okay, thank you, Dato'. Okay, for 1993 drawback, one of the major issues faced by manufacturers was they had to submit a bulky documents of K1 and K2 form while claiming duty drawback. So after a few series meeting discussions between RMCD, PEMUDAH, and also FMM, so RMCD has reviewed the existing policy by improving the procedure to be simpler and more efficient to the industry player. So our proposal is claimant will no longer need to submit import-export documents, as customs officer can check the information through the system maklumat custom accordingly.
Thank you. That's very good. Yeah.
Just to add,
go ahead, Raja. Go ahead.
Puan Surya's examples of what are the mistakes, why drawbacks are rejected, is very useful. Actually, some of the reasons are so simple. When if only businesses have been more careful and ensure that they are doing, I'm sure that Puan Surya will not have so much problem returning the money. So it's a very good hands-on experience that Puan Surya has shared of what are the mistakes businesses do. I think we have also a businesses also have a responsibility to ensure that we also satisfy or comply with customs requirement. That's all. Thanks.
Yeah, in fact, suddenly I thought about an idea. I think we also can put those 100 mistakes made by the applicant on the website as well, though. So then, you know, the participant will know, or the claimer will know, these are the common mistakes made by, you know, the applicant. So then they will not make that type of mistake in that sense. Now, coming back to the question, right? Dr. Tan, what are the most striking points of the improvement that you think that we have made this round can actually help the applicant and the taxpayer to get back their refund quickly? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chua. I think with this latest guideline, of course, it is to be seen how it's going to be implemented. To me, there's so much of improvements, you know. For the start, it is the right direction in taking this application process, and most importantly, is now you're going to submit, like one Hani mentioned just now, you know, you submit all your K1, you know. Now we can just submit, you know, the K1 by having what's called just a spreadsheet. Okay, that saves so much of time, K2 even, and customs, instead of going through the boxes of document, now they can do sampling. Okay, and that actually will save both sides the time. See, that's one. And the secondly also, you know, you reduce the document from the applicants, there will be also less mistakes, okay? And customs also take faster time to process, because during our meetings, I know from the customs Perakona Hasil Division, you know, one officer in Selangor have to process 1,500 applications per month, you know. So, you know, these are, and then the number of documents her to go through. So I think now, because of all this, there's vast improvement. And now we also understand that, you know, there will be no immediate rejection, you know, by the customs, if it is just for minor mistakes. And then also importantly is they'll be informed. You see, not after a few months after you submit your application, you don't know when are you going to be informed. Now, the moment they will process and they will inform you within 14 days in the guide. So that is a vast improvement rather than you sit and don't know what happened to your application. So that is my thoughts from FMM side. Thank you.
Yeah, how about Raja? Raja.
Okay, sorry, I need to. I think, yeah, I think going forward, I think we are quite excited to ensure to see that this has actually doesn't take the trouble to actually listen to the industry and have taken steps to change some of things. And I think this time there'll be smaller batches, i.e. now because you need to submit within like 93, you must submit within 3 months. Of course, might be expired in 3 months, but then those days was longer period. So there'll be small chunks of application rather than multiple, you know, many documents at one application. So that will maybe ease the processing officer from doing work. So it's a good thing now. Customs asks us to submit even submitting the application must be done within 3 months of exports. Last time it used to be 6 months. So it's a longer period, more documents. Now with a shorter period, and so hopefully this will help to increase efficiency, turnaround time.
Thank you, Raja. In fact, whatever we do in PEMUDAH, it is not just an improvement for the private sector to enjoy the benefit. In fact, we are looking at win-win, and maybe Puan Suraya can actually share with us or Puan Hanim. Out of this improvement, what do you see? What sort of benefit that custom side will get as well in the sense?
Dato', for benefit, basically simplify the process of drawback claim. So when we do sampling, so the officer can only check a few samples, and then we can verify and proceed with the decisions rather than we need to check every transactions. So that
Right,
one is
right.
the benefits that the custom will get lah.
Okay. How about Hanif?
Okay. For me, same like Puan Suraya, especially when the claimant do the declaration through electronic declaration. So the transaction type D1 should be declared properly, correctly, so that because the transaction is we consider as a written notice because that one is stated in the Act as a mandatory conditions.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, I can see there are actually 12 questions on the Q&A button there. Okay, maybe the panelists and speaker can actually click on to see. We will try to go through, if not all, but most of the question. We come from top. There's one question by Mr. Prakash Krishnan. The question is, can everyone see the question, the panelists and speakers? Okay or not? Okay, let me read out the question. Can we apply for drawback for MIDA exemption that already expired, but we already submitted the renewal and the renewal under review by MIDA team? If yes, is there any time off period to claim the drawback? Is this a question related to 93 and 99?
If I may answer, Dato,
Yeah.
I think this is more of a Section 14.2, no,
Yeah,
MIDA exemption
that's what I thought.
under
Yeah,
the Customs
yeah.
Act Section 14.2. So I don't think this can apply for either 93 or 99. That is my thoughts.
Okay, okay.
Maybe Dato, can I jump in?
Sure, go ahead.
Agree with you. Although it's a Section 14 application, I think what Prakash, please correct me if I'm wrong. It is you have expired, the exemption expired, and you are putting a new application. In the meantime, you are importing goods and paying duty on raw materials. The question I think what you are asking is, because while waiting for the MIDA's approval, I am paying duty. Can I apply for duty drawback? My answer will be yes, unless Puan Suraya thinks otherwise, because it's during the period, there's a gap period before the expiry and the renewal of the MIDA, and you're going to import raw materials paying duty because you don't have the exemption, Section 14 exemption. So now I'm using this exemption, using the goods to manufacture my goods for export. I'm still exporting. So during the period, can I apply for duty drawback? My initial reaction is yes, you can apply for duty drawback because the goods duty were paid because you didn't have exemption. You pay duty at the time of import. That's my I think that's my comment.
Anyone else got anything to add?
Yeah, let me add.
Go ahead.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Raja. Yes, the company can claim. However, all the conditions applied, meaning all the within 12 months, the 6 months, so must be satisfied. Okay, good. Now, let's move on to the second question. For goods sold to MW company, must the goods be MW approved goods for me to claim duty drawback? Anyone? So for these issues, actually, the responsibility is fall on the LMW punya responsibility, the LMW company actually. If they bringing in raw materials or whatever goods that is not approved, so it's actually the LMW company punya fault lah. So for this case, I think company that sold to LMW company, how they would know that the list is approved, right? So in this case, for company yang claim duty drawback tu doesn't need to, to clarify, but in case, but I think for this case, the LMW company must be responsible. So not the company that claimed the duty. So meaning, in other words, the MW company cannot claim? No. if it is not, if the LMW company bringing in goods that is not allowed,
Yeah.
so
Not approved,
basically, yeah, not approved. So basically, they will need to compound, further actions lah by the LMW officers. They
I
will
see.
be
I see.
penalized for it
Okay.
lah, because they are, not follow the conditions for LMW company.
How about the panelists?
Maybe I can just add, yes, what Puan Soraya says is correct. For an LMW company, whatever goods that is being brought in, it must be part of your manufacturing process. If you bring in goods, like you say, sold by maybe a trader to this LMW, the trader cannot claim if that goods is not part of the LMW, what I call that, raw materials or part of the manufacturing process. That is my thoughts.
Okay. I think the next question, not sure whether it's related. Waste sold to MW company can be claimed duty drawback or not?
No. Selling to LMW company, no.
Right.
Why do you further process, is it? Why do you plan to sell to LMW? Further process, waste. I'm not so sure.
The question is not entirely clear, right? Okay. If no one got anything to add on this question, then maybe we will just move on. For the participant, if you were the one who asked this question, I think the question is not very clear. You may want to retype your question to make it clearer if you still want an answer to it. Okay. Now, for destroyed waste, must I inform custom to witness the disposal?
For disposal of destroyed waste, no need witness, I guess. But you need to apply for it, apply for disposal of waste. But I don't think for destroyed waste we need to witness.
All right. How is the panelists' real life experience with custom in this?
Okay, maybe let me answer the question. I think if your waste, if you're brought in under an exemption, or your pay duty is not an issue. If you're paid under an exemption, before you destroy, you would have actually got approval from customs, and customs will give you a certificate of kemusnahan. They used to give a certificate of kemusnahan to the officer. Kelupusan. Sorry. And kelupusan. Okay, sorry. And sometimes the officer insists that they want to come and witness, and they will also want to see that the destroyed. For example, if I were a tire manufacturer and I had sometimes tires, tires don't fit properly, done properly. Customer insists that you cut it into half or cut in small pieces because they don't want you to sell usable goods, although they are for lower quality, to the market without paying duty. So normally they will ask you to cut it out in pieces, and they want to witness it, that the goods are really destroyed and cannot be used again. And also the way you dispose is important. You can either sell in the local market, and if you sell in the market, then the respective custom duties has to be paid of the waste. Or you can go and get AIA approval to either bury them in a waste area, or send to one of those approved waste companies for them to be recycled, especially chemicals and all that. These are quite customs will always ask you to. I know one factory in Malacca. All these highly hazardous waste they collect, and they will recycle or make it less hazardous or clean the thing. So you need to go there. So I think very important is when I think you need to go to the respective station and inform them that you're going to do. waste, want to destroy waste and get their approval or their suggestion. What you can do? Some I can throw, some I need approval. And where do I throw? What do I do with this waste? When I sell, I need to pay the tax.
Okay, thank you, Raja.
I'll just check. For disposal of waste for duty drawback, we need to penyaksian lah, witness the
Witness, okay,
yes,
good.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I will add, Dato.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Actually, yes. What one Surya say is true, especially for those high value waste. So customs want to witness as that's part of their SOP. But during this pandemic, there's no way you can go and witness, and then the waste must be destroyed. You see, because after a certain time, there will be smell and
can it be Dato' Tan, can it be witnessed through Zoom or not? Like doing the webinar?
Exactly. So I think during our panel perunding with the customs headquarters, we have suggested that either we inform and then we take the video ourselves, the company will take the video ourselves, or whether customs one then can do Zoom, then you can witness the what called destruction via Zoom. Thanks.
Okay, yeah. Anyone else on this waste disposal? If not, then we will move on to another question from Pei-Ting. For bank statement certified copy, just certified from company secretary will do. Is it sufficient just for the company secretary to certify, or is there any specific requirement? Anyone?
For this one, it's actually certified. I believe that we need it the bank statement certified by the bank itself.
Oh, by the bank itself. Okay. The panelists, what is the any real life experience that you all have?
Normally, I think they get the bank to certify. I've seen that.
You have seen that. Okay. Okay. The next question is actually from City. Okay. Instead of the application to claim back, can we apply for exemption from MIDAH?
Let me answer that. Yes, you can. If you apply for exemption, there's nothing to claim back. So you can, but you have to be careful because MIDAH, MOF and MIDAH does not give exemptions simply. They have so many conditions like if the goods are available locally, they won't give. You're importing goods and the goods are available locally, you buy from local manufacturers, they won't give. You also need to prove that they are directly used in the manufacturing and all that. So it's not easy to get MIDAH and MOF approval unless you are in the promoted, you're doing a promoted product or in a promoted area like Iskandar, EAC, and all that. So there are some conditions. MOF doesn't just give, MIDAH, there are some conditions. As long as you fulfill the conditions, yes, you get exemption, then there's no requirement for drawback because you don't pay duty.
Okay, the next question, does the exported goods require 100% inspection now?
I think Surya has said what, no need. I think no need. You normally we do 10% or less than that.
Yes.
Sample from 10% term. Sample from 10% term.
I think this one is for exported goods, right? During the exportation.
Exportation, yes.
Yeah.
Not during the drawback claim.
100% for critical goods, but randomly checking for the normal goods.
Okay, 100% for critical goods, random checking for normal goods. Okay, all right. Now, next question, very quickly. For Section 93, if the carton has been opened, but the goods inside has not been used, does the goods consider used? Is it something technical?
Datuk, can I read this answer because I'm still waiting for the answer from my.
Oh, I see. Okay, thanks, Hamim.
Technical. Yeah.
Okay. We move on first. If you got an answer, then later on we can share. Okay. Next question from Emily. Does the new timeline for custom to process the application and the payment applies to existing application that has already been submitted to custom, or only new application? This one must be Puan Suraya. And Hanim, yeah.
For new application starting from the PTK the new PTK guidelines.
Okay, which is effective.
24 August.
24 August. Okay,
yeah.
So it's quite some time ago already. Okay. Now, the next question from Siti Khatijah is, the tax claimable product is applicable only for import raw materials to export finished goods only. You understand the question?
Export finished goods only.
That means you import raw material and then maybe you convert like what you in your presentation to finished product and then you export.
Under section 99, yes.
Yeah, yes. I think the answer should be yes, right? Quite straightforward. Okay. The last two questions, I don't see any more. Okay. Now, from Kim Tech, for section 99, can we import first, then apply for drawback approval? Not claim back.
Yes.
Can
Yeah, same.
Can.
All right.
But make sure not within the time limit lah, the 12 months. Jangan dah lambat-lambat baru nak apply. Before the exportation of finished goods.
Yes, Kim Tech, you better refer back to the PowerPoint and also the guideline on the custom website as well. Okay, last question for the panelists and speakers. How if the product has been exempted but the forwarding agent has accidentally paid the duty on behalf of the importer? Can the importer claim back the duty?
This is out of scope. This is refund, right?
It is not a duty drawback.
Yeah, this is not a duty drawback.
Okay, how about the panelists got this now experience?
Yeah, I think I agree with the point. It's a duty drop, it's a refund, and they have to make the necessary refund within 1 year of having paid the taxes to customs.
Okay, Dato' Tan, you got anything to add?
No, I think what Raja says is correct because it's not a duty drawback claim. It is just a refund. You overpaid, then you do a refund claim.
Okay, we got this last question from our old friends, Annie Thomas. When will everything be moved to entirely electronic? Is this got anything to do with you, custom or not? I'm not sure.
I think Dato', what yesterday Puan Zakia mentioned, I think you have to wait. That's all.
Puan Suraya or Hanim side, you all got anything to add on this?
Well, I have no comment on this.
Okay, thank you very much for the speakers and panelists. We have answered all the questions, and I think we actually have a very fruitful discussion. And I would like to invite the speaker and the panelists, whether you all have any final say before we end the session today. Maybe we start with Puan Suraya first.
Okay, thank you for having this session again. So basically, I have uploaded the guidelines on the web portal, so company can refer to it. And any question, please get back to us at the station level, or at the states level, or at the HQ. So that's all.
Okay, thank you. Puan Hani.
Okay, thank you, Dato, for inviting me for this webinar today. Okay, if you guys have any inquiries, please feel free to contact us by email at tuntutan@customs.gov.my.
Oh, that's very nice. Thanks, Hanim. Dato' Tan?
Yeah, thank you, Dato. Actually, we can see from this very fruitful session that if only both sides are willing to sit down and listen to each other, I think a lot of things can be resolved. I think now customs is also very open, and again, we also have to talk about the applicants. I think you all also have to, be more serious because it's your money, rather than to be rejected based on sometimes very, very small matters that you all don't take into consideration. I think, to me, after this, we will hope, like what Dato' Chua mentioned, let's see within these 6 months, how much progress can we make, and then we will do some evaluation. Everything there must be an evaluation for all our hard work done within these 2 years to get this Section 93 and 99, to be very streamlined and to assist both parties. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dato' Tan. Raja?
Yeah, thank you, Dato. I think it's important. I mean, this is a first step. I look at it as a baby step. The new processes, new procedures has made it simpler, and the refund would be quicker, I presume. In my mind, I think we should be able to get a refund within 45 days. All right, 14 days. 44 days. 30 days for customs process and 14 days for payment. So we are looking at a period of 44 days to get payment. But I'm looking in the future. Once customs is fully digitalized, I think we should look back at these processes and see how we can give, whereby, because in the first instance they are like 99, they are applying, they need to make an application, and they are given customs all the information like the input-output ratio, the raw materials, list of raw materials and all that. So you should come to a point where when I export, I don't need to make another application. All right, it should be all seamless, and therefore hopefully going forward, once you are digitalized and all that, we should relook at this, where there shouldn't be much like what we are giving to AEO. People who are AEO has certain facilities, certain and all that. Maybe we should give to every exporter who has made an application to apply for duty drawback. He'd be given the same status. I mean, for local, we don't have to follow the AEO of the international standards, but for local, why not we use the same criterion and say, okay, if you have applied, and we can, and then customs do a yearly audit. Don't have to check every time, go through samples of export form, but do a yearly audit of these people who are applying for duty drawback. That will simplify everything and make things easier. That's all I thought.
Yeah, thank you, Raja. Before I end this session, in the chat room, there is an evaluation form. We hope all the participants can actually help us to fill up the evaluation form for us, so then we can actually improve further for this webinar to be more effective and efficient. Of course, I just borrow from what Raja have said. This is a baby step, and in fact, we believe, be it in custom taxes, income tax taxes, or labor taxes, so EPF and HRDF, there are a lot of things that we can actually do. For example, like income tax, we are looking at the e-filing for withholding tax, and at the same time, a lot of us are actually making a lot of small payment for withholding tax, where we use the Facebook or Google to do marketing, right? So then we are looking at consolidation or payment for all this. So this signifies the fact that the country need continuous improvement. And of course, if all the participants have any suggestion, you can always go to PEMUDAH website. Go to PEMUDAH website, MY-MUDAH, and then you can actually give your suggestion to us. We can always look into it. I think together we can actually make Malaysia a better place to do business and a wonderful place to live. Okay, and on behalf of PEMUDAH, MPC, and the organizer, I would like to once again thank our speaker and panelists, namely Puan Suraya, Puan Hanim, Dato' Tan, and also Mr. Raja Kumaran for their participation and sharing today. And thanks to the organizer as well. We will see you again in the next webinar. Thank you. Stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye, everyone.